Okay, first off, I want to just say this is in no way me trying to attack you or target you in particular. I just saw this comment and I wanted an excuse to talk about this most one sided Demon Slayer fight, in my opinion. The fight against Douma in the Infinity Castle was so heavily reliant. Now, before I explain as to what was so heavily reliant on it, there's a spoiler warning, so if you don't want to be spoiled, anybody, feel free to scroll on. I'd understand. But for those that are still here, if it were not for Shinobu's poison, everyone that was fighting Douma would have died. And even if we were to give Shinobu the Slayer Mark amp, she still would not have been enough. Hell, in all honesty, the only way that they'd have a proper fight with a full power Douma would be if both Inosuke and Shinobu got a Slayer Mark and fought alongside Kaneo with her Vermilion Eye. 3-on-1. And even then, I think it would still come down to the amount of poison Shinobu lands. Because Douma is so broken. His ice clones are near identical in power to him, or he can make them as strong as himself. And I believe during the initial canon fight, he was only using like 30% of his power, or at the very least, his clones were only at 30% power. And Inosuke and Kaneo were struggling with the clones. Most of the fight consisted of them struggling with ice clones rather than fighting the main Douma. And sure, they did land hits on Douma. I will not deny that. But at any point in that fight, Douma was never scared of dying. He never showed any worry that he was going to lose. The only reason he lost was because he was too distracted fighting the others to realize the poison kicked in before it was too late. And in the context of this comment, it's like, what if the Hashira that didn't get Slayer Marks got Slayer Marks in their fight? And I said that even if Shinobu got her Slayer Mark, the fight would likely end the same, if not worse for the Hashira, because the Slayer Mark would mean she is stronger, which might make Douma actually use more of his power, which would be detrimental to the other two. Possibly resulting in either one of these two things. Either those three get destroyed, and Douma is still a problem that could possibly interfere with the other fights with the other Upper Moons, or whatever stragglers are left after they've already been beaten and battered by the other two Upper Moons, he just picks off the stragglers, which, let's be honest, after the fight against Akaza and Kokushibo, the ones who were in the condition at that point, likely would not have been able to handle Douma in their condition. Even if you took the people fighting Akaza and Kokushibo and had them team up, with their current condition, even the team up of both teams of Hashira and Demon Slayers as a whole probably would have died even if they're collectively worked together against Douma.